Good morning. Welcome to At Home Learning, Day 1. Today we're going to learn about the 3 properties of logarithms. We touched on this a little bit before we left Wissahickon, but I want to just circle back and make sure that you remember how to do this. The first property is called the product property. The product property is to take a logarithm of 2 things that are multiplied together and convert it into, or expand it into 2 separate logs added. That is called the product property. So multiplication will change to addition. The quotient property takes 2 things that are being divided and expands it into the logarithm of the top term minus the logarithm of the bottom term. The third property is called the power property, which takes an exponent and converts it, swings it out in front, and then it becomes the coefficient. Now we're going to show you how to use those properties to both expand and condense logarithmic expressions. So first we're going to expand. So take this first logarithm. This is 2 terms being multiplied, the 10 along with the x. So we are going to take that and expand it into 2 separate logarithms with a plus in between because multiplication changes to addition. And then the log of x. And it's that simple. That's how you expand it. So multiplication becomes addition. In number 6, we have ln. Now the properties for log log and the properties for ln log exactly the same. So in this problem, I'm going to rewrite this so you can see that this is multiplication. And we also have an exponent that we're going to use the power property on. So first we're going to take care of the multiplication changing to addition. And then to finish this up, the only thing we have to take care of is this exponent. So the exponent, if you remember from the previous slide, the exponent is going to swing out in front and become the coefficient. And this is what that looks like expanded. Now you'll notice in a lot of books, they'll put parentheses around these terms, just so you know that that is the term that's following the logarithm. Finally, we're going to look at number 7, where it looks like we have division, it looks like we have powers, and it looks like we also have some multiplication on the bottom. Now, anything that is being multiplied will have a plus. Anything being divided will have a minus. And don't forget your powers are going to end up being coefficients. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this one. So for this one, we have the log base 3 of x to the 4th minus, because of the division, log base 3 of 3y to the 3rd. Now you'll notice that this is multiplication, so we're going to have to expand that as well. So this is going to be the log base 3 of x to the 4th minus, and now in parentheses, because we are going to be adding these 2 together, log base 3 of 3 plus the log base 3 of y to the 3rd. Finally, the powers, like we have here and here, are going to become coefficients. So this is going to be 4 times the log base 3 of x. And I'm going to distribute the minus as I go here. This is going to be minus log base 3 of 3 minus 3 log base 3 of y. And that's what that looks like, completely expanded out. Okay, so that's expanding logarithms, and now we're going to go on to condensing. So you'll notice these are already multiple logs in each problem, and we are just going to work backwards. So addition, if you remember, addition becomes multiplication, subtraction becomes division, and coefficients are going to become powers. Okay, so let's take a look. So this is going to be log base 2 of this times this. So 8 times 3 is 24. Done. That's all you have to do to condense it. Condensing is actually much more useful than expanding, so you want to make sure you get this down well. This one, I see a subtraction sign, and I also see a coefficient. So the question is, what do you do first? When you are condensing, you power, I'm going to call it we power up first. So I am going to rewrite this, log base 5 of 4 minus, and I'm going to take this coefficient and pop it up here as a power. So that's going to be 5 to the second. Now we know what 5 to the second is worth. 5 to the second has a value of 25. Finally, subtraction becomes division. So we have log base 5, 4 over 25. And that's it. Okay, I hope you found that simple. Finally, number 11, we have a coefficient in front here. So let's take care of that first. Now you have to be a little bit careful here because this coefficient becomes a power, but on this entire thing. Okay, so the entire 6x becomes to the second. I'll take care of that in a second also. Okay, so addition becomes multiplication. I'm going to rewrite this first, though, as 36x to the second. And now finally, addition is going to become multiplication. 36 times 4, I believe, is 144. And then we have the x squared and the y. And that's how you condense it to a single logarithm. If you have any questions at all on how to expand or condense, all you have to do is send me a message through Schoology, and I will send you a video back to try and explain this a little further.